Gliding above the clouds, arms out like Superman, sounds fun until you realize what it's actually like. Here's the most obvious problem: altitude. Everyone imagines flying high, because what's the point of having this superpower if you're just skimming rooftops like a confused crow? No, you want the cinematic experience. Clouds, wind, freedom! Except clouds, they're basically floating collections of freezing water droplets. The temperature up there is not light breeze, bring a jacket. It's negative 40 degrees Celsius cold. That's your fingers fall off before you finish one inspirational monologue cold. You'd be shivering so hard mid-flight that you'd look like a malfunctioning drone. And let's not forget oxygen levels. At 10,000 feet, you start gasping. At 20,000, you start hallucinating. At 30,000 feet, you black out. And don't even get comfortable flying low. You think birds look majestic? Those creatures have hollow bones, specialized lungs, and wings that evolved for millions of years. You have the same lungs you use to wheeze after a flight of stairs. Flying at low altitudes means you're dealing with bugs. Thousands of them, every minute, smacking into your face at high speeds. Your eyes ruined, your mouth filled with protein you did not consent to consume. Speaking of eyes, here's a fun fact. Even at moderate speeds, the wind pressure would dry your eyeballs like raisins. The bugs would have finished you off anyway. Now imagine maintaining balance. Birds have tails, specialized posture, and instinct. You have whatever questionable coordination made you trip over a perfectly flat surface last week. If a slightly stronger gust of wind hits you at the wrong angle, it's over. You're now a human plastic bag flying helplessly in random directions. Graceful? No, hilarious to spectators. But let's say somehow you're stable in the air. You're warm, your eyes aren't dried out, you're not choking. Great. Time to move to the real nightmare. Speed. Flying slowly might sound safer, but slow flight is useless. If you're hovering at 10 kilometers an hour, a senior citizen with a scooter can outrun you. You'd be overtaken by delivery guys. People on bicycles would cuss at you mid-air. So let's say you speed up. The faster you fly, the more air resistance attacks you. At 100 kilometers an hour, your face vibrates like it's made of jelly. At 200, your skin starts experiencing force it was not designed for. You know how skydivers spread their arms and legs to stabilize? Yeah, now imagine doing that without a parachute waiting to save you. One wrong tilt, and you're spinning so fast you might drill into the ground like a human corkscrew. And we haven't even talked about breathing yet. Stick your head out of a moving car at 80 kilometers an hour. Now, imagine your entire body dealing with that pressure at triple the speed. The air slams into your face so hard you physically cannot inhale. You'd be gasping like a fish and making noises that would scare small children. But fine, let's assume you are superhuman enough to handle speed, pressure, and balance. Here's the thing that will ruin your dream permanently: air traffic. The sky's not empty. It's filled with birds, drones, planes, and the occasional flying plastic bag that looks suspiciously like a ghost at sunset. Mid-air collisions, guaranteed. Jet engines, absolutely deadly. Birds, they will attack you. They don't care that you're special. If you glide too close to a nest, you're getting dive-bombed by an angry crow at 60 kilometers an hour. Oh, and planes. If a pilot sees a random human being at 15,000 feet casually flapping around, the entire aviation industry might shut down for psychological evaluations. Also, planes create turbulence strong enough to flip cars on the ground, and you think you can fly near them. You'd get sucked into the jet engine faster than you'd know. Here comes the most overlooked horror of all: landing. Landing is not just stop flying. Landing is physics, coordination, angle control, momentum absorption. Birds spend their entire lives perfecting it. You would land like a sack of potatoes thrown from a balcony. Even if you slow down, the force on your knees and ankles would be enough to shatter your bones unless you land perfectly every single time. And if you misjudge the angle even slightly, you're face planting into the ground so hard you leave an imprint future archaeologists will assume was ritualistic artwork. Now, about weather. Everyone loves clouds until you're inside one. Movies make clouds look like magical cotton candy fields. Reality, they're foggy, wet, disorienting moisture prisons that instantly soak your clothes and ruin your vision. Inside a cloud, visibility drops to zero. You can't see where you're going, you can't see what's coming at you, and you definitely won't see the plane you're about to collide with. And if you're thinking, I'll just fly above the clouds, then congratulations, you've chosen the frostbite zone. 1 minute you're flying, the next minute your fingers are purple popsicles that snap off mid-air like fragile Twix bars. And speaking of weather, wind. Wind is your worst enemy. You think gentle breezes aren't bad? Try flying through actual wind currents. Turbulence isn't just for planes. It'll toss you around like a kite whose owner gave up. A small gust can blow you 20 feet to the side before your brain can even register what happened. A strong gust, you're spiraling like a very confused boomerang. Oh, and storms. Lightning doesn't care about your personal journey of self-discovery. You are a tall, conductive object in the open sky, aka a lightning magnet. If you get hit, you're either instantly fried like airborne chicken or knocked unconscious mid-flight. Both outcomes, not ideal. Next, we have the delightful concept of air pressure and barotrauma. Your ears pop in elevators. Elevators! Now imagine ascending hundreds of meters in seconds. Your eardrums would feel like they're being stabbed with knitting needles. Too fast a descent? Welcome to nosebleeds, migraines, and your sinuses sending you hate email. Also, your clothes. Flying isn't glamorous. It's the fastest way to ruin everything you own. Your shirt, ballooning sideways. Your hoodie, flapping violently like it's trying to escape your body. Your hair, a bird's nest. Your pants, depending on the speed and direction, they may or may not stay on. You would spend your flight looking less like Superman and more like a scarecrow caught in a cyclone. And don't forget the sound. Flying is loud. The wind slamming against your ears creates a noise that's basically a jet engine screaming in your face. You won't hear your own thoughts, you won't hear cars, you won't hear birds after just a few flights. Congratulations, you now have permanent hearing loss. And we haven't even gotten to energy consumption. Flying is not effortless. Birds burn insane amounts of calories just to stay in the air. If you could fly, you'd need to eat like a bear preparing for hibernation. You'd inhale 3 pizzas, a bucket of fries, 4 desserts, and still be hungry. And if you don't keep up the calories, you crash. Literally. But let's assume you do keep eating like a biological garbage disposal. Another issue arises: heat regulation. Flying at high speeds generates an absurd amount of wind chill, but your muscles working non-stop generate heat. Those two fight each other. You'll either overheat mid-air or freeze. Sounds fun. There's no in-between. Now, let's talk about one thing that will haunt you forever if you attempt to fly: navigation. Birds have magnetic senses, instincts, and evolutionary GPS. You rely on Google Maps to find your friend's house 5 minutes away. Flying removes roads, signs, landmarks, and your sense of direction. Everything looks different from above. A city becomes a confusing patchwork quilt of identical rooftops and asphalt lines. Suburbs, a nightmare. Forests, good luck finding civilization again. You'll get lost, not theoretically guaranteed. And unlike walking, where oops, I went the wrong way means turning around, flying the wrong way means ending up in an entirely different district, or state, or country. But wait, it gets worse. Refueling. You can't just land anywhere to rest. Roofs, too slippery. Power lines, electrocution. Trees, birds will attack you again. Roads, cars. Random balconies. Congratulations, you're now a home intruder. Every landing becomes a gamble between survival and I hope the people down there don't panic when they see a human falling from the sky. And even if you do land successfully, the worst part is the return journey. You're tired, hungry, cold, dehydrated, maybe injured, but you still have to fly back. Imagine going to class or work and realizing you used up all your energy just getting there. Now you have to choose whether to fly home exhausted or take public transport while pretending your legs aren't shaking from airborne trauma. Every time you take to the sky, someone is calling the police, filming you, or trying to shoot you down because I thought it was a UFO. Good luck dealing with that. And finally, the darkest part: human error. Your brain forgets things. You forget keys, umbrellas, homework. Imagine forgetting that you can fly mid-flight. One moment you're cruising, the next your body goes, oops, muscle fatigue, and suddenly gravity snatches you like a disgruntled parent grabbing a misbehaving toddler. There is no safety net, no parachute, no redo. Flying is not just inconvenient or uncomfortable, it's a constant negotiation with death. Everything is out to get you: the weather, physics, your own biology, aircraft, oxygen, gravity, bugs, and your terrible sense of direction. So yes, flying sounds magical in comic books, but in reality, it's an anxiety attack with wings. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so we can save you from pointless disasters. Thanks for watching, we'll see you in the next one.